Imagine the boxing match when you are a champion and you have a challenger. And the last 10 matches, you have beaten this challenger each and every time. So successfully.
This is the death certificate for Georgia's EU integration, providing that Ivanishvili stays in power.
Opening door maybe for new forces to appear. Or some old forces to merge and create a new force. Anyway, you are forcing them to reform.
Georgian people, wake up. So the Georgian Dream government is not bringing you to the European Union, but they are kind of drifting you away from the European Union. Well, perfect. Well, that is clear statement, but I think that is wrong statement. She should have said that
they already did.
Yes, people of Georgia, sadly, your government has drifted you away from European Union and instead of bringing you to the European Union. Hello and welcome to Talk Georgia Question Time with me, Giorgi Rukhadze.
And with me, Nodar Kharshiladze.
This is a special edition of Talk Georgia where Nodar and I answer your pressing questions about Georgian and international politics.
And it's brought to you by Droiman Media Group, trusted source of news and information.
And GSAC, a think tank providing comprehensive political analysis of Georgia and wider Black Sea region, also academic and practical training for postgraduate students and mid-career professionals.
Okay, so let's go to questions. You unified now again. One question.
I did, and the questions came from Raya and Niko, and it runs like this. It appears that Ivanishvili plans to imprison opposition leaders for many years. Does this signal a new phase of authoritarianism? And in your view, is it a response to the European Union's harshest enlargement report? Okay, so I'll start with a little bit of a background story, what happened, and then you can proceed with the analysis. Okay, again, 8 political leaders, your name's Mikhail Saakashvili, strategy Armashenebelis Giorgi Rukhadze, Achalis Nika Guaramia and Nika Melia, Girchis Zura Japaridze, Druas Elene Khostaria and Lelos Mamka Khazaradze and Badri Japaridze. Prosecutor General brought criminal charges against these people. The allegations basically include sabotage, aiding a foreign country in hostile activities, funding activities directed against the Georgian constitutional order and national security, calling towards violently changing the Georgian constitutional order. So we are talking about from 7 to 15 years in prison in at least 3 cases, talking about Elena Khostaria, Giorgi Rukhadze and Zura Girchi Japaridze, and the rest are facing from 2 to 4 years in prison. So, Nodar, so what's your take on this? Is this a new level of authoritarianism? Okay, because and also we have to bear in mind that these people are leaders of the parties that are on the list for banning in the nearest future. So what Ivanishvili is trying to do is that to ban the parties and put their leaders behind the bars for many years. So what is this?
Well, and there is a second part of the question when it says how it's related with the EU report.
Okay, we'll come with that later.
First of all, I'll start with that. I don't think that it's directly.
I also don't think it is. Yeah.
I think it's a coincidence. I think it was there. Well, I would not say it's a new level of authoritarianism. I think it's a new evidences of demonstration of what kind of regime have. This is a kind of the very good new face which Georgian Dream is now proudly, unfortunately, wearing. So there were 2 big things for last 1 month. One, that they made a decision to send a legal case to Constitutional Court in order to demand the ban of parties. And then, like it was not enough, they moved against leadership of these parties. And most of these people are leadership of those parties. And I listened to this Imedi, and I watched Imedi Chronica about this absolutely nonsense charges. So it's a former President Saakashvili and leaders of the different parties. Now they are charged based on different things. It's sabotage, it's espionage, it's a harming of the national interest. So it's things which anybody can be charged who are publicly active. So I think that while it's not related to your report, it is related to general EU thing. I think that what they are trying to show that, so you did not like old GD, here is the new one. Yeah, that's first. Second, let's not forget that Bidzina has this habit to create a crisis and then to take a credit for solving it. Now what he will try, I think that he will try to negotiate with West if it succeeds, to drop the charges, to stop the cancellation process for parties, to cancel the cancel, and to get something for it. I mean, he will demand a price for things which he screwed up, simply. I mean, very willingly. It did work in the past, but did not work for past 2 years. So I think it's not best tactics. On the other hand, it does not look very healthy, you see, because there is a minor incident which is ongoing, and I'll mention it because I want to link it with this arrest. At the same time, it was yesterday, there are 4 prominent GD supporters are arrested. Yesterday they were I think trial here.
You mean the Vera district? There was a incident in the shop against the
when I say prominent, they're not political level, but they were very quite active and well known in Tbilisi's elite GD supporters. And so I think that there was no bail. They were sent to
pre-trial detention.
Pre-trial detention it was quite harsh. So while again I would to stress it, while Georgian Dream is definitely going to war footing with opposition, it looks like that it is also in a war with itself. I mean, these kind of people which were yesterday sent to the pre-trial detention, these were core people who kind of not only supported but stood very firm with Georgian Dream for a number of years. Yes, they had lots of flaws. I mean, they were corrupt, they were hooligans sometimes, they were vulgar criminals, but that's what GD was. Now, again, GD is fighting with things which was itself not long ago. So, okay, going to this. I think that it's safe to say now, based on evidence, that either it's a number one reason when Bidzina Ivanishvili tries to negotiate, or second reason that he's cuckoo. I mean, he lost it.
Well, a lot of people say that, but
and it looks like now reason number two. Because before he did that, he would create some problem, very Soviet actually, and very modern Russian, but Soviets were very good in that. You create a problem, then you come up with solution, you solve this, and you get a credit for that.
Classical. Yeah,
but it did not work for last year. He did not manage to build anything with Trump. He screwed up all. So,
but because it depends on the kind of problem that you create.
Yeah, these are the things which he should know doesn't work. Sending people to prison, you could create some court reform problem and then solve it, and they will say,
okay, they will applause.
But this one, I don't think so. This puts him now on par officially with the Belarusia and with Russia, and which it's not good for you. I mean, leave alone everything. It's not good for you pragmatically. It doesn't give you anything. Arresting Rukhadze, Giorgi, who is already in prison, will not give you any point with Moscow, okay? They will not delay their invasion plans because of that. This is not game changer for Russia. However, it is game changer now, the final for West. And he gives more and more ammunition to West to cancel visa liberalization. These things are making it more and more. It will be harder.
It is coming. I mean,
it will be harder and harder for supporters of Georgian Dream. I would not name states like Hungary, but or Italy, that to stop this process. It will be harder.
Sure.
So, I think that rationality is gone from the Georgian dream. That will be my conclusion here. That's one. Second, EU now has ceased to exist for them as any tool outside of the tool for propaganda, for internal. Third, I think he also seriously thinks that by attacking EU, he's pleasing Moscow, which safeguards him from Putin's attack on him. I mean, that's the long game which he's playing. Again, is it insane? Yes, but does he believe it? Yes, as well. He believes that he's safeguarding Georgia from that. And the funny thing here, which annoys them, actually, this is the last my inside information. You know, and that's what's annoying for them. When you look at our neighbors' news, you see Kyrgyzstan negotiating with America. You see Azerbaijan and Armenia. You see things. So when they decided...
now they started, just trade agreements with the United States, basically. So good for them.
So they said, aren't we better than Azerbaijan in democracy? Why you are not coming to... Come on, guys. But they don't understand that they were in different league. And they were different. We were candidates. We are still officially candidates. Azerbaijan...
On paper only.
Yeah, but we are. I mean, paper means a lot.
Name only.
Azerbaijan never even expressed its official desire to integrate in any ways with the European Union. So that's very irritating for them. Then, now Uzbekistan is scoring the new agreement. Because these guys went from low to high, and you went from high to low. That's a separate process. So I think that it's Bidzina's wish to be Azerbaijan, and I think that's what he wants to be.
Without oil.
Without oil and without any success, because there are success stories in Aliyev. I mean, from Azerbaijani perspective. Father Aliyev, son Aliyev, both of them delivered success stories. But Bidzina's success story is bringing the fake investments, which never materialize.
Absolutely. But I would look at more pragmatic or practical side of Bidzina's steps in terms of imprisoning opposition leaders for many years. I think that this is the fear that moves him here and that motivates him. Because, look, these people, minus obviously Misha Saakashvili, they are in prison for 8 months. Okay? It's just maximum 2 months they have left, and they would come out of prison. And these people would come out of prison a lot stronger, prison hardened in a way. Because I mean, it is important. For some of them at least. Sorry?
Pen. I need to borrow.
Okay. And you know what? They kind of regained trust from society, because until now the talk was that the opposition leaders were better off compared to the people who were on Rustaveli Avenue, who were arrested, who were kind of pressurized, etc. Now political leaders are pressurized exactly the same way as the other, the activists, etc. They showed that they are principled enough to sacrifice their own freedom for the Georgia's future, European future, etc. I think that, and also bear in mind that no matter what Ivanishvili tried, he didn't succeed in crushing the protest on Rustaveli Avenue. I think that what he is really afraid of is that when these people come out, the political component and the public component of the protest will merge. And it will be way more difficult for Ivanishvili to counter this possible united force. And also in the run-up of the Western sanctions that at the end of the day will be delivered, I think all these components taken together could be a serious blow to Ivanishvili. I think one of the key reasons why he is trying now to bend the parties and put the opposition leaders in prison for many years is the fear that everybody now seems to be in the same boat, and the unification of the protest and the political component, it becomes inevitable. Of course, I mean, the side not side effects, but the secondary reason could be the response to the European Union. Obviously, and we've seen the similar moves from Ivanishvili, because, I mean, again, let's face it, when this Rukhadze made this famous statement about stalling Georgia's EU integration, it was on the 28th of November last year. That was the day after very critical resolution from the European Parliament, where it said that the Ivanishvili should be sanctioned and Rukhadze should be sanctioned and all the others. So, and we see that, of course, I mean, every time there is a critical statement, a critical move from the democratic world, the Ivanishvili is trying to show that, you know, guys, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, I have the leverage to be tougher on democratic forces in Georgia, on the protest members or opposition leaders, compared to what you have on me. And I think that this, to me, that explains that. But the primary reason is not to just respond to European Union's harshest report, which is like really harshest in the, not only in Georgian history, but in also the European enlargement history. I mean, I don't really remember or recall any enlargement report that was so critical in every aspect to a country that it was to Georgia. Like in Turkey, for example, it was 2005 or 2006 when the negotiations basically got frozen. Even the report the year after was not as tough as it was now to Georgia, which clearly shows that this is the death certificate for Georgia's EU integration, providing that Ivanishvili stays in power. Okay, and maybe what I also think that, well, this report should be a good lesson for us, but also good lesson for the European Union, because this is not just disaster for Georgia, it is a disaster for the European Union as well.
Yes, of course. Okay, we always we mostly agree, so it will be fun to disagree at once.
Okay, so, go ahead.
No, with you are the master, and actually what you said, I fully agree and share with you, and you have an excellent expertise. Not saying that you don't have bad expertise or anything. You're saying that now sending opposition to prison was a fear. I disagree with that, and let me give you your arguments. Okay, let's start with this. Kvaramia, Melia, Ugulava, Merabishvili.
Ugulava is not there.
No. Just Vano.
Okay.
Pacho. These people already went to prison and went out. The same Guaramia and Melia were in prison. Did they get out prison hardened things? Did they change Georgian dream? No. They lost before they went to prison, and they lost after they get out to prison. If anything, before all these things happened, let's review the situation. Kakharya declared he's going to parliament, so he was definitely, there was no union. Lelo, despite the fact that they were just in prison,
he himself is going Hofsbrauhaus, but not parliament.
Let's stick to facts, okay? Their party went to parliament. Lelo did not change their posture despite of being imprisoned and then comically pardoned. They did not. And
now again.
Yeah. And the rest of the parties were fighting more with Kakharya and Lelo than with Bidzina. That was situation previous and now.
Sadly, it was, yeah.
So I don't agree. I agree with your logic, but I don't agree with this definition of the prison would bring them together. It did not first 2 months. Why would? If anything, now it can bring, because 7 months was a mild thing. Now when they have to go 7 or 10 years, now they have literally nothing to lose. So now they might reconsider.
Can I borrow that?
Yes. This first. Second, I'll give you an analogy. Imagine the boxing match when you are a champion and you have a challenger. And the last 10 matches, you have beaten this challenger each and every time. So successfully, you sometimes cheat, you sometimes put stones in your hand gloves, you sometimes use the doping, but you know how to beat them, okay? They keep whining and crying about it and talking to press, but every match ends with your victory. That was Georgian dream with opposition. And now why they're not rational? Now they are saying that no, it's enough. It's not enough that we are beating this challenger. We're gonna now arrest him. So now there will be somebody new in the ring, and the best Georgian dream can hope for, it's the same result, which is unlikely. there is a chance with this move when you A, restricting opposition, and B, imprisoning leaders. First question, are you restricting and imprisoning opposition which was so unified, strong, and successful? No. You just moved to restrict opposition which demonstrated by themselves, without your help, division, internal conflicts, petty squabbles, and all the manner of the things which their supporters very much dislike. So with that, you are opening door maybe for a new forces to appear, or some old forces to merge and create a new force. Anyway, you are forcing them to reform, which is not in your interest, because present state of October 3 or October 5 state of opposition was the best interest of the Georgian dream. Now they are forcing opposition to change it. They want it or not. So that's why I think that it's not pragmatic. Why I understand your logic of fear that let's get rid of them while we can. I think that that's harming them in a mid to long term, because they're forcing them to act. So that was my major point here.
Okay, let me disagree with here. So I think that this is the tactical move, it's not a strategic move. So you're talking about strategy, I'm talking about tactics. Well, in long run, maybe you are right, but in short run, what Bidzina thinks now, he has this luxury of thinking about long run. So he needs to control things in a short run. And what he wants to do is that in a short run, at least in the next year,
next election you are thinking,
yeah, just to make sure that he has no obstacle.
Okay.
Right? So, maybe in long run, this will create better chance for propping up new forces, new leaders, etc., etc. But I think he doesn't really care about that. He cares about, let's say, next 6 months to eradicate the opposition, keep the people in prison who still has potentials to unite people or lead the political process. And when the politics is killed, just to have whatever elections, change the constitutions, achieve what he wants to achieve, and then he will start thinking about the next chapter. Second thing about I agree with you that, and there is logic what you said, that the prison doesn't really harden people in a way that, but it depends on how long you are sitting in prison. That's an important point. When you're talking about Vano, Merabishvili, or Akhalaya, that's a long term. When you stay in prison, let's say, years, that makes you a philosopher. When you stay there for 6 months or 8 months, that makes you a fighter.
Okay, sorry. Gulava did stay 6 months, and Goram 7 months. Yeah.
And also, what matters here is the overall situation. You are absolutely right when you said that, instead of fighting Ivanishvili, these political parties basically spend more time for fighting each other. That's right. But I believe this happened because Ivanishvili still left certain room for hope, for Lelo, that there would be space for them in Ivanishvili's politics. And this is why they thought that, okay, we will participate in the elections now, and that it will be a ticket for us, in Ivanishvili's politics. Gacharia thought that, now we'll go into the parliament, and that will be ticket for me to come back to Georgia, which is not going to be the ticket for him. So I think that by what he's doing Ivanishvili now, he is restricting this space for everybody. And there is no room for potential or optional politics here. So the only way now is to just get united and resist. This is what it is. And this is why I think that there is no other way. But, when these people come out of prison, maybe some of them would not succeed in that, but the others will. But it would make the protest and resistance stronger than it is now. Well, this was my logic here. I want to move to the European Union. I mentioned that we need to kind of get a lesson from this report, but I think the European Union should also And I think that I know that a lot of people are disappointed in Brussels about this report and how things evolved in Georgia. But sadly, this is how it goes when you turn a blind eye to things and when the action is delayed from your side too. Because when, again, I think there was finally clear statement from the European Union, thanks to Commissioner Marta Kos, when she said that Georgian people wake up. So the Georgian Dream government is not bringing you to the European Union, but they are kind of drifting you away from the European Union. Well, perfect. Well, that is clear statement, but I think that is wrong statement. Wrong statement not because what she should have said is that instead of continuous, she should have used perfect tense there. And she should have said that
they already did.
Yes, people of Georgia, sadly, your government has drifted you away from European Union instead of bringing you to the European Union. And what she said, that I think if she said it in 2023, when candidate status was granted for Georgia for nothing, it would have been the right statement. In 2023, if they had said that, sadly, we are not giving you candidate status because your government didn't do anything for it, and wake up, Georgian people. Your government is taking you away from the European Union instead of bringing you to European Union. And in 2024, when Georgian Dream adopted this Foreign Agents Bill, Russian law, and that time that was very clear where the Georgian Dream was heading. That time, if the visa-free was suspended and the sanctions imposed, that would have worked. And in the run-up of the elections, if the message was that, okay, people of Georgia, if you have Ivanishvili's government as the ruler of the country, you will never knock on the European Union's door, that would have changed the picture. But now it is kind of too late. And again, this is what happens when you give away candidate status for nothing, when the elections are stolen and these people, the perpetrators, are without punished, and when you kind of still try to act as like that there is a chance that the Georgian Dream can change the policies, and it is kind of stated in there. This is what happens. With that, you give space for to the dictator to crack down on the opposition, to imprison, the protesters, and to use propaganda against the Georgian people and against you, against the European Union. And this is what is happening now.
On you now, to be fair, let's not judge them too harshly on some things. First of all, there is a stick and carrot. I think that we got plenty of carrot from you. I mean, I think too much. We remember how you tried to help us with Charles Michel agreement, and which we Georgians did not appreciate much. I mean, and it was a very valiant effort, but we were not valiant enough to appreciate it. Then, of course, there was this whole candidacy and the granting us perspective first, then give us candidacy, lots of financial aids, visa-free, free trade agreements. I mean, lots of boons and lots of benefits were introduced to Georgia. So I think on that we only owe thank yous to European Union, how kind they were. And I fully agree that problem lies not in a lack of appreciation by you, but a lack of appreciation of the problems by you. I think they were a bit too reluctant to recognize problems with I understand they're thinking, we are working with Azerbaijan, we're working with Uzbekistan, with African states, with Morocco. But it's not same, is it? Because Georgia was aiming for candidacy and then got this candidacy. So you can't judge with same lenses countries absolutely which are not, just your name. Yeah. So I think when things got pretty hot here and Bizina started to really openly go all radical on the authoritarian part, I think there was a window for you, as you said, to be very tough. And they did not. they use some wordings, but you know it better than many others. I mean, you work there, especially in parliament. It's a multi-layered bureaucracy.
Absolutely.
So yes, they would contradict with each other. One statement by nation state would be different than by commission, and you can't really. It's not the Soviet Union. You can't really. I mean, you cannot restrict Hungary to make any or Slovakia to make any statements. I mean,
of course not.
Yeah, of course. It's vice versa.
Yeah,
because
that's a club of democratic nations.
So, understanding all of that, we do understand. That's why we are not throwing any stones, but we are just stating fact that all of that resulted in Ivanishvili treating EU weak and then irrelevant.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Today, only force he wants to please is a Trump, but it doesn't go very well for him, is it? No. And EU is kind of irrelevant for them. EU is used as I will finish as I started now only for propaganda reasons. I mean, what was Georgian Dream's reaction on this report? That is very interesting. We did not talk about it. They talked about problems inside the European Union.
Yeah, exactly. So how bad things are. And also, I mean, while this was issued, Georgian Dream Prime Minister and like his 67 delegation members went to China. Yeah. And what he said there? He said that the China is the only superpower now in the world, the only peaceful superpower, and that's why we have common values.
Yeah, it is. Good. Congratulations on that. So, and also, Mr. Ivanishvili, who is appointed as a president by Mr. Ivanishvili, said that Baltic states envious. Yeah.
Poor Baltic states.
Yeah. So again, it's a product for acquired taste. Who wants to buy it and believe in that? You're welcome. But most of us who have any sanity left and any ability to check alternative information and facts, we can see that it's all a bunch of BS. I'm sorry for this term, but that's what exactly defines it. So I think that farther we go, unfortunately, our prognoses are materializing. We said that there will be more arrests, and here we go. We said that there is nothing good.
It's going to happen.
And here we go. And I don't want to be dramatic now to their view, to our friends and viewers, listeners, or to us, but I can tell you that things will get even worse.
Thank you, Nodar. And with that positive note, let's call it a day today. Yeah. Thanks for watching us.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to us. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget Spotify. And we'll see you next week.